Kelly didn't love me. The condition for her to marry me was that if her first love came back, we would divorce immediately. We have been married for 10 years. I have spoiled her for 10 years, and she has waited for 10 years. Finally, her first love came back. A divorce agreement was thrown in front of me. I coughed up blood and signed my name with relief. Kelly, I have repaid your kindness and it is time for me to go. The story is about to begin. If you like it, remember to like and follow. On the night of their 10th wedding anniversary, Kelly did not go home. This was the first time she stayed out all night on her wedding anniversary. In previous years, she would always come back no matter how busy she was, and I would prepare red wine and candles, and have a drink with her so that she could relax for a while at home from her busy life. On this year's anniversary, she hurried out in the morning and never came back, nor did she send me any message. I only remember that when she left in the morning, her face was full of nervousness and surprise, as if she was not a 32-year-old female president of a company, but a 22-year-old girl in love. I realized that the man she loved was back. My heart tightened and then relaxed, and I smiled with relief. I should have expected this day, and I had already figured out how to deal with it. I just left. Taking out the cancer diagnosis from the drawer, I coughed lightly, and a fishy sweet taste rose in my throat. The cancer is in the late stage and there is no cure. I used to think, if I died, would Kelly cry and be heartbroken? Now it seems that I thought too much. 10 years of marriage cannot stop her from thinking about her first love. She never treated me as her husband. 10 years ago, Kelly made an agreement with me that we would divorce as long as her first love came back. I agreed without hesitation. Because I want to repay a favor. I still remember the blood all over the ground and the pungent smell of gasoline after the car accident. My parents and sister lay beside me, motionless and bloody. The only thing left at the scene was the despairing night, apart from the constantly leaking gasoline. Kelly just showed up. She was wearing a motorcycle helmet and used all her strength to drag my family out. In a daze, I saw the flames suddenly rising up, and the car might be about to explode. But Kelly did not retreat. She gritted her teeth and used her bloody hands to drag my family out of danger one by one. The car didn't explode, but the fire scorched the car we had bought with our family savings and also burned my life. My parents and sister died despite efforts to save them. I was wrapped in thick gauze in the hospital, lying like a mummy, staring blankly at the ceiling, crying for many days. Kelly is here again. In fact, she has always been there. She paid the medical expenses and helped me find a caregiver. Although she couldn't see my face under the gauze, she would look at me with an encouraging smile. She has a beautiful smile. In those countless desperate nights, in my dreams of suicide again and again, I always remember Kelly's smile. She gave me a second chance at life, she saved my family from being burned to ashes in a car accident, and she was a ray of light that night. Following this light, I survived one long night after another and endured all the torture brought by the illness. Finally, I was able to be discharged from the hospital and the gauze on my face was removed. I was covered in scars, but fortunately, I only had a few small scars on my face, which were not ugly. The day I was discharged from the hospital, I thought Kelly would come to see me, but she didn't. When I met her again a few months later, she was drunk in a bar, while I was singing love songs with my decent voice to earn some food. Kelly locked onto me immediately. She came over drunkenly and hooked my chin. "Handsome boy, you sing really well. Come, drink with me." I was a little dazed. I didn't expect that my benefactor had such a side to him. I drank with her silently, and she became more and more drunk, and finally cried and said that the man she loved had gone abroad. I asked why you went abroad. She didn't answer, but just said that there are too many people in this world who love each other but cannot be together. Your voice is very similar to his. I will come to see you often. Kelly treated me as a stand-in for her first love. No, it should be a substitute voice. She would come to listen to me sing every night, give me generous tips, and sometimes even take me out for a midnight snack. I took good care of her, allowing her to drink to her heart's content at night and wake up comfortably in the hotel the next morning. After a few interactions, we became familiar with each other, and she gradually regarded me as someone she could rely on. When she was sad late at night, she would throw herself into my arms and ask me why I was so nice to her. I thought to myself, you gave me my life, how could I be bad to you? Of course, I didn't say that. I was just joking, you give me more money, so I will treat you well. She also laughed and started complaining to me about her family's pressure on her to get married, which was driving her crazy. I joked, "Then marry me, and I'll help you out," reluctantly. Her face suddenly changed, and she raised her hand to slap me but held back. Finally, she stared at me in silence for a long time, then nodded, "Okay, there are not many good men like you. We tried to be together. Because I had been in a car accident and had an old illness, I couldn't do any heavy work or use my brain much, so I became a full-time house husband. I allowed Kelly to have no worries and immerse herself in the work she loves. She was quite satisfied. Of course, she didn't love me, but she just thought I was a reliable and good man. So it was natural for us to get married. I was very happy that night because I felt that I liked Kelly, the woman who gave me a second life. But she was not happy. She had previously thought that marriage was unimportant and just a formality, but when the moment came, she regretted it. After all, a sacred marriage is not about finding a dining partner. The other half she wants is him. So Kelly made a condition. If my first love comes back, we'll divorce immediately. Okay. My thoughts returned, the night grew darker, and it was already past midnight. I started coughing again, and the taste of blood in my throat became stronger. I should go for treatment so that I can survive for a while and enjoy the last moments of my life. I started waiting for Kelly's divorce agreement. As long as I get a divorce, I can leave. At dawn, the sound of high heels was heard. I woke up from a nightmare and turned to look at the door, only to find that my neck was aching severely and my internal organs were aching. It turned out that I fell asleep leaning on the chair, and the red wine and steak on the table in front of me were not touched at all. Kelly pushed open the door. She has long become mature and sharp, like a female general in the business world. Whenever she came back, she would still have a lingering air of coolness, and would say she was very hungry as soon as she entered the door. I would cook for her, run water for her to bathe, prepare herbs for her to soak her feet, and massage her shoulders. But when she came back today, she didn't say she was hungry, she just hummed a song while taking off her high heels. She didn't even notice that I was waiting for her. "Are you back?" I laughed, and blood flowed out of my dry lips when I opened them. I quickly covered it with a tissue and pretended to wipe off the oil stain. Kelly looked up at me, her smile faded, and she stopped humming. Her expression was complicated and conflicted. Obviously, she is going to divorce me. It's just that I have taken care of her for 10 years and spoiled her like a daughter, so she is too embarrassed to ask. After all, even if you raise a dog for 10 years, you will still have feelings for it, let alone a human. I am a person with feelings. So I didn't mention it. I asked her with an inexplicable emotion, "Why didn't you go home all night? Where did you go?" "The company is busy." Kelly looked away and lied easily. I said oh and got up to prepare breakfast. She only likes to eat the food I cook and is not used to the food cooked by the nanny. "David, aren't you tired?" Kelly suddenly asked me. I stopped and looked at her. "What are you tired of? You've taken care of me for 10 years. You're almost like my servant. You're more like a nanny than any other nanny in the house. Aren't you tired?" She pursed her lips. "I'm not tired. I'm very happy to be your gigolo." I chuckled. The laughter tugged at my stomach, and I felt a wave of acid reflux, and I couldn't help coughing. "Have you caught a cold?" Kelly took 2 steps forward but then stopped, as if deliberately keeping a distance from me. I felt sad for a moment. In the past, Kelly would have come up to me and touched my forehead. Even though I'm a grown man. "It's okay, you take a rest, I'll make breakfast." "Breakfast is ready." Kelly was looking at her phone, and when she saw me come out, she put it away unconsciously. On the mobile phone interface, it seems to be a chat history. I let her have breakfast. She ate it as usual, and once again looked at me with a conflicted and complicated look. I looked at her in silence. Perhaps I should have spoken up first, so as not to make my benefactor feel guilty. But what am I fantasizing about? Do you imagine that she will abandon her first love for me? It's a bit ridiculous. Finally, Kelly said, do you remember our agreement?" My body relaxed for some reason, and my back bent slightly, but I straightened up immediately and jokingly said, "Hey, he's back?" Kelly said and looked away. I tried to force a smile, but my cheeks were dry and stiff. I raised my voice and said, "It's been 10 years, and you still can't forget him?" "What do you mean?" Kelly frowned. "What I mean is..." I broke off because I didn't know what to say. Kelly frowned even deeper. She seemed to see through my thoughts and my unrealistic fantasies. This made her a little angry. So she put on the cold attitude of a female CEO. David, I have never loved you. Please abide by the agreement. The cold wind of the early morning blew in from outside the door, my body suddenly became cold, and I started coughing violently uncontrollably. Good. The divorce agreement was drafted on the third day. Kelly is no longer coming home. She asked her secretary to hand the agreement to me and supervise my signature so as not to delay. David, sign here. Then you can go with Boss Kelly to get the divorce certificate in a month. Secretary Brittany pointed to the blank space on the agreement. Her expression was also complicated, and she looked at me with some sympathy. I huddled on the sofa, nodded weakly, then slowly sat up, my fingers shaking. So tired. It's not the tiredness from the loss of physical strength, but the tiredness from the loss of life. I grabbed a pen and glanced over the agreement. Kelly is very generous to me. She left this villa to me and gave me an extra $50 million. David, here is another condition, please take a look. Brittany pointed to a line of words. I looked over and silently put down the pen. After the divorce, the man is not allowed to appear in front of the woman for any reason, otherwise it will be considered a breach of contract. It's another new condition. The pain in my body was suddenly awakened. I gasped for breath and clutched my chest tightly, trying to tear apart the pain brought by cancer. What's wrong with David? Brittany was surprised. I lowered my head, exhaled, and slowly signed my name. Every stroke of my pen is a farewell to the past 10 years. Every stroke of the pen erases a frame of Kelly's voice, appearance, and smile. When I finally finished writing, I regained my composure, looked up and smiled. I've signed it. Brittany put the agreement away and said hesitantly, David, don't be too sad. I actually think Boss Kelly likes you, but she's stuck in the past. Her love is stuck in the past 10 years ago. Brittany is not only Kelly's secretary, but also a good friend who knows a lot of things. I waved my hand and said, don't talk nonsense, or Boss Kelly will dock your salary. Go ahead, I'll go get a divorce certificate with Boss Kelly next month. Brittany sighed, took the agreement and left. When she closed the door, my whole body relaxed, as if a piece of rotten meat melted into the sofa. Too tired. It hurts so much. I won't live to see the day I get my divorce certificate, right? After signing the divorce agreement, Kelly and I are done. It was expected that a marriage of 10 years would end in one day. Then, I have repaid my debt of gratitude. I spent 10 years of my youth taking care of Kelly meticulously, never letting her suffer a bit, and today I set her free. I have done my best. It can even be said that it is a complete merit. Thinking of this, I laughed at myself. I am so kind. I will definitely become a Buddha after I die. Bah. The door was suddenly pushed open and someone opened the combination lock. We use facial recognition at home, and no one has used passwords for a long time. I turned my head to look at the door, and saw a tall and handsome man in casual clothes walking in. He turned his eyes and looked at everything in the villa, without noticing me lying sick on the sofa. Until I asked, who are you? He was startled, then smiled playfully, David? Kelly's husband? You seem less masculine than me. I am sick and really have no energy. Gavin? I narrowed my eyes and realized that he was Kelly's first love. It's me. Kelly and I picked this villa together. I missed it so much that I came back to take a look. I didn't expect that she hadn't changed the password. The password has always been my birthday. She is really a nostalgic person. Gavin explained, pointing to the combination lock. His expression was a little proud, and the password that had not been changed in 10 years became his charge to victory. I clenched my fists. Is the password Gavin's birthday? I remember that when I asked about the password, Kelly said that it was just a random number that she typed in and she was too lazy to change it. This laziness lasted for 10 years. I actually believed it. I laughed at my own stupidity and shook my head. Since you're back, take a look around. I'll change the password later. Huh? What do you mean? Gavin raised his eyebrows and looked at me. He considers himself the man of the house, so naturally he wouldn't be happy with me changing the password. I'm divorced from Kelly, and this villa belongs to me. I stood up and tried my best to maintain a good posture. I am also tall and handsome, no worse than Gavin, but unfortunately I have cancer and lack the charisma. Really? Gavin smiled. Mr. David, I'm not short of money, But this villa is a beautiful memory for me, so I'll give you a little more in divorce settlement, and you can keep the villa. No. I refused bluntly. It's not that I'm greedy for the villa, but that I'm dying. I have lost my home long ago, and this villa is the only place I miss. If I die here, it will be considered as returning to my roots. You have to know that Kelly loves me, and I can ask her to kick you out at any time. Gavin's face turned cold. He looked down on me, but after all, I had Kelly for 10 years. So he was resentful towards me. He is deliberately looking for trouble. It's clearly written in black and white on the divorce agreement that this villa belongs to me. I emphasized again, staring at him indifferently. Gavin scoffed, "You're such a stubborn gigolo. I wonder what your parents taught you. Did they teach you to be a gigolo?" My pupils shrank, my lips trembled violently, and I shouted, "Shut up. Get out." Gavin flew into a rage. "Who are you telling to get out?" He took a step forward and gave me a provocative push. I immediately lost my balance and fell to the ground. I felt dizzy and my already weak body felt like it had no strength left in it. Almost at the same time, Kelly came back. She heard us arguing and ran in quickly. As soon as I came in, I saw Gavin glaring at me, and I fell to the ground weakly. "Hey man, are you just playing the green tea role here? Do you have to be so hypocritical?" Gavin shook his head sarcastically and explained to Kelly. Kelly frowned and said to me coldly, "Stand up. Why are you pretending to be weak?" She defended Gavin unconditionally and no longer spoke to me in the soft and gentle voice she used to. My heart ached again, and I gasped and tried to get up, but I couldn't get up for a long time. Cancer is so disgusting. Sometimes you look like a normal person, and sometimes you suddenly have heart palpitations and body weakness, like a little chick. Brother, you are so disgusting, just like a woman. Seeing that I couldn't get up, Gavin clicked his tongue twice and couldn't bear to watch. Kelly became even more angry. "David, what are you doing? Aren't you ashamed?" "I have cancer." I simply sat down and took a break. They were both stunned for a moment, and Gavin burst out laughing. "Hey bro, you're not really a woman, are you? You're playing this game?" Kelly pursed her lips, looking extremely impatient. I pointed to the TV cabinet drawer. "The diagnosis is there." Before Kelly could react, Gavin had already found her, took a look, and laughed. "Advanced stage stomach cancer. I'm freaking impressed. You even prepared a diagnosis to keep Kelly?" What he meant was, I forged it. Kelly also took a look and then threw it away. "Don't play this game, I've given you everything I deserve, what else are you not satisfied with?" "I'm not dissatisfied with anything, it's just that this is my home and I don't really welcome that man." I looked at Gavin. Gavin twitched his lips and said, "Kelly, this was our love nest back then. How could you give it to an outsider? Give him some money and tell him to get out." When Kelly heard this, she frowned and said nothing. I looked at her, the wife I had been with for 10 years. She also looked at me, her eyes flickering, then looked at Gavin and whispered, "I bought a bigger villa, it's okay to leave this one to him." "No, I'm nostalgic. I want to live in this house." Gavin was determined. Kelly sighed and looked away, but she said to me, "David, I'll give you 100 million. Just get out of here." In an instant, my eyes dropped, my whole body became weak, and all my strength was drained away. I know that our 10-year marriage has come to an end, and I have completely repaid Kelly's kindness. I don't owe her anything because she abandoned me. After a moment of silence, I smiled heartily. "I want 200 million. A man's youth is worth something after all." "Good." I took 200 million and left the home where I had lived for 10 years. Taking a final look back, after the sadness comes relief and liberation. No more nostalgia. For the past 10 years, I have been thinking about repaying her kindness, but I have also unknowingly fallen in love with Kelly. I can sense that she cares about me too. But compared to her first love, I'm just a dog with emotions. In that case, I'll just consider it as repaying the favor and feel relieved. I don't have much time left to live anyway, so why bother confining myself? It's time to enjoy myself. That night I went to the largest bar in the city and ordered a dozen beautiful girls to be hugged by me one by one. Although I am weak, I can be wild at heart. Isn't there a saying that men remain young until they die? The boy hugged the girl and went bungee jumping, skydiving, off-roading, whatever was exciting. You know what, it feels so good. I feel good even when I cough up blood. Then my body couldn't take it anymore. I've been playing for about 10 days and it's reached my limit, so I have to take a break. After resting for 2 days, I gathered some strength and went out again. This time I went to the cemetery to pay my respects to my parents and sister. We have to pay our respects at this time every year, but for the first 9 years, Kelly accompanied me. She didn't know that the person in the tomb was the one she had dragged out of the fire. She just felt sorry for me because all my relatives had passed away and I was all alone. Yes, I am alone and have no worries. I sat in front of the tombstone until dark. When I stood up to go back, I felt dizzy and fell to the ground. When I woke up, I was lying in the hospital. The huge ward was empty, with only various instruments ringing continuously. Outside the door, several doctors were whispering and talking about my condition. A familiar voice rang out, "What? Advanced stomach cancer? Impossible? He just fainted." The voice was not Kelly's, but her secretary Brittany. Apparently, Brittany was the one who took me to the hospital. Mr. David's medical records have long been stored. He is indeed in the late stage of gastric cancer. We have repeatedly asked him to be hospitalized for treatment, but he disagreed, the doctor said solemnly. Brittany couldn't believe it and immediately made a phone call. But no one answered the phone. It's over. Boss Kelly went on her honeymoon with Gavin yesterday and no one can contact her. Brittany was scratching her head anxiously. I curled up and started coughing. The saying that illness can be as severe as a mountain is absolutely true. You may be full of life one day and be seriously ill the next. I could clearly feel that I didn't have much time left to live. The doctors came in and Brittany wanted to squeeze in, but was stopped by the doctors. "David, you must receive treatment. We have already developed a plan. Please cooperate." The doctor asked me to sign without saying a word. In this world, there are always people who don't want me to die, even if it's just out of professional ethics. "How long can I live if I get treatment?" I asked. "It's hard to say, but if you don't get treatment, you probably won't live more than a month." The doctor's face was extremely serious. "Can't live more than a month? I'd better get treatment. After all, Kelly and I haven't gotten our divorce certificate yet. This damn cooling off period for divorce." I received treatment. It is pain and torture that no one can understand. The amount of hair that falls out and the blood that is vomited every day is enough to make 10 horror movies. Once I was more settled, Brittany was finally able to come see me. She was anxious and panicked. "David, why didn't you tell Boss Kelly? No wonder I noticed your face was not right before, you. This is a good thing. Kelly has someone to rely on, and I am relieved." I looked at the dead tree outside the window. In the cold winter in the north, not a single green leaf can remain. "David, don't talk nonsense. Boss Kelly will be worried about you." "Oh, she's on a honeymoon, on a business trip. She forgot her phone, so I can't reach her." Brittany told a lie that was completely flawed. I couldn't help laughing out loud. "I understand. She's on her honeymoon with that Gavin. She's always so focused when she's having fun. You can't get in touch with her. I have a deep understanding of this. In the past, when Kelly and I went out to play, once she got into the mood, she would just play and completely ignore the calls from the company. No one can disturb her. Sometimes I ask her to take care of the company, but she has a good reason. It's so rare for me to go out and have fun, and I have to take care of company matters. It's better not to go out. Besides, I'm here to play with you. I only care about you now. Kelly used to take care of me. Now she will only care about Gavin. Oh, I don't know how to put it. Boss Kelly really cares about you. She asked me to go to the cemetery to find you. She knew you would pay tribute to your relatives. She was too busy to accompany you this year." Brittany continued to explain. "It turns out that Kelly remembered the day when I paid tribute to my relatives, but this year, she had to accompany Gavin." "Brittany, stop comforting me. I know Kelly went to accompany Gavin, and I'm not angry. I really wasn't angry, not at all. Men are like this. Once they see through things and become indifferent to them, nothing matters anymore. Just like quantitative change leads to qualitative change, there will be no looking back and nostalgia. What's more, I'm about to die. Why would a dying person still care about love affairs? I hope David isn't angry. I actually don't think Kelly and Gavin are a good match. Kelly is a strong businessman, and Gavin is also a strong businessman. I'm afraid they wouldn't get along." Brittany said seriously, I heard that they broke up 10 years ago because of personality incompatibility. Stop it, stop speaking ill of them. They are a talented couple and a beautiful woman, so it's not your turn to object. I raised my hand. Brittany retorted, I'm not saying anything negative. I just think you're more suitable for Boss Kelly. Boss Kelly needs to be pampered and loved. She's actually like a child. Yeah, she's like a little kid. I remember when she couldn't find her high heels, she would run up and down the stairs in anger, cursing that the villa was too big and calling me. David, David, where are my shoes? Where are my shoes? Look under the TV cabinet. I helped her sign the company's documents and put them in her briefcase. Kelly ran to the TV cabinet to look for it and actually found it. She raised her head and looked at me upstairs. You hid it? Are you trying to tease me? You were drunk last night and kicked things around when you got home, and kicked it into the TV cabinet. I went downstairs and handed her the briefcase. She thought about it and stuck out her tongue embarrassedly. Oh, I forgot, she said, opening her briefcase to look at the document I signed. The more she read, the more satisfied she became. David, you are really good. You are flawless and your handwriting is beautiful. I feel that being a house husband is a waste of your talent. You should be my vice president. She invited me more than once. Actually, I think I have some abilities. After all, I graduated from a prestigious university and I am good at finance. But I know that Kelly doesn't need a vice president, she needs a backer. A supporter who can help her find high heels, help her tidy up the unfinished documents, and help her cook a pot of porridge. You're like a little kid. I'd better stay home and take care of you. That's what I said and touched her head. She didn't resist, rolled her eyes at me, and went out happily. Now, she will definitely not roll her eyes at me. She would never allow me to touch her head. Because she is Gavin's child. And I am relieved and don't have to raise children. During the second week of hospitalization, my condition worsened. The doctor issued 3 critical illness notices, which scared Brittany so much that she cried. Fortunately, I managed to get through it all. David, hold on, I'll help you contact your boss Kelly. Brittany was so anxious that she tried every possible way to contact Kelly. I lay there motionless, feeling as if I had eaten poisonous mushrooms. There were strange things everywhere in front of me, and even the ceiling was moving. Finally, Brittany came up with a good idea. I'll ask the manager to contact Gavin. He has Gavin's business card. As long as we contact Gavin, we can contact Boss Kelly. Brittany is such a genius. She immediately contacted the manager and had a chattering conversation on the phone. I felt dizzy and had no idea what she was babble about. After a while, her voice became excited. Is this Mr. Gavin? I'm Boss Kelly's secretary. Please transfer the call to Boss Kelly. Gavin did as he was told. Brittany's voice became even more passionate. Boss Kelly, I finally got through to you. Please come back soon. David is dying. Kelly didn't respond, probably a little confused. Brittany put the phone to my ear and urged me to speak. David, speak up. I was still a little delirious, the tubes in my body making me numb with pain. I said hoarsely, come back soon, get the divorce papers, or I won't be able to rest in peace. David, what are you doing? You knew I was dating Gavin, and you still called me. Kelly's voice was cold. I sighed, feeling a surge of anger on top of the pain, but before I could say anything else, Kelly said, don't call me anymore. You have to keep your promise. She hung up the phone. Brittany was so anxious that she called again, but no one answered. She sighed and scratched her hair in distress. I squinted my eyes and for the first time I felt that Kelly, this kid, was annoying. I don't know how many times I have survived the hands of the king of hell. Today is a rare sunny day, and I feel much better. Brittany came to see me again. She was happy to see that I looked better, but then she became sad. If a dying person looks better, it is probably a sign of his last breath. If you have a last burst of energy, it means you are really going to die. Has the cooling off period for divorce passed? My voice sounded hoarse and unpleasant, like a leaky rag. Brittany looked at the date, 3 days left. In 3 days, I will be able to officially divorce Kelly. No connection from now on. Okay, I'll hold on for 3 more days. The king of hell can't take me away. I laughed and encouraged myself. Brittany, who is usually lively, was silent, but her eyes were red. I found it funny and looked at the sunny sky again, and I felt that my complexion was getting better and better. Then I have to do one thing. Brittany, could you get a pen and paper? Okay. Brittany went to find it without saying anything. With pen and paper, I can write. Actually, it's not a big deal, just some last words. After all, I have 200 million. I slowly wrote my last words in my notebook, writing down one as I thought of it. After I die, I will be buried next to my parents and sister at number 8, row 6, Nanshan Cemetery. Donate 5 million to Project Hope. Donate 10 million to UNICEF. I have a lot of last words. Brittany peeked in curiously. David, are you writing a suicide note to Boss Kelly? Fart. I spent 2 days writing my last words, but the effect of my last burst of energy was greatly reduced. I started lying down sickly again, and it hurt to move at all. The pain from my scalp to my toes pulled at my internal organs, making me want to jump out of the window at any moment. Death is the end of everything. But I have to wait. Wait until you get the divorce certificate. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, the time is up. Brittany is gone. She didn't accompany me last night and went back early. The ward was very quiet and I could hear the sound of liquid flowing in the tube. I don't know if it was because the pain was too great, but I became completely numb. I don't feel any pain today. This is amazing. After all, I used to feel pain when I was having my last moments, but now I don't feel any pain. I sat up with a little effort and clenched my fists. A little strength. The important thing is that it doesn't hurt anymore. I hurried to write my last words. Donate a road and 50 street lights to my hometown, Pingtu village. Donated 3 million in cash and various daily necessities to the Qingdong orphanage. After I die, if my organs are still usable, I will donate them all, leaving some bones for me to burn into ashes and bury with my family. After writing the last word, all my strength was drained away and I fell down like a dead tree in the wind. At the same time, the door was pushed open and Kelly came in. She is finally back. I suddenly summoned strength and pulled the quilt to cover my whole body. I don't want to see her. I feel like I won't be able to rest in peace even if I die if I see her. David, what the hell are you doing? Kelly walked in slowly, her tone cold. Brittany said you have cancer. Are you addicted to acting? Using such a ridiculous trick? I didn't answer, lying in the dark bed, thinking, can you please just get out of here and let me enjoy my old age? Speak up. Stop pretending. Kelly scolded. Our agreement was made 10 years ago, and you agreed to it. I haven't let you down. Yes, 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 you have done nothing wrong to me, so please go away. David, are you speechless? Kelly walked to the bed and pulled back the quilt. Are you pretending to be sick and not wanting to get a divorce from me? What do you want? Her words stopped abruptly because she saw me. He saw my ugly bald head, my sunken cheeks, and my skinny torso. I curled up, it hurt. It hurts more than when I was in the car accident. David. Kelly froze, as if struck by lightning. Then she rushed to my side in disbelief, shaking uncontrollably, and yelled, David. I can't respond. David. Kelly burst into tears. Are you really sick? Why did you hide it from me? You bastard. Why did you hide it from me? Hiding it from you? Didn't I show you the diagnosis? It's you who don't believe it. Also, can you please stop touching me? It hurts so much. Say something, you'll be fine. Kelly was still crying, her tears breaking. I fainted from the pain. This time, I slept for a long time. It was the middle of the night when I woke up, and it took me a long time to blink before I could regain some vision. It was still a ward, but it was a more advanced one. Maybe Kelly changed it for me. She did everything she could to save me. I defeated the king of hell again, so awesome. The light in the room was dim and I couldn't see clearly. I heard the sound of the door opening. Someone walked in. I thought it was a nurse, but it turned out to be Kelly. Kelly sat on the edge of the bed, staring at me without blinking. I closed my eyes, but my eyelashes were clearly twitching, indicating that my vitality had not yet completely faded away. Are you awake? Can you open your eyes? Kelly was overjoyed and gently held my hand. I was awake, but it felt like I was dreaming. I remained silent and didn't want to open my eyes. Kelly was unhappy. She rubbed her face against my hand and said, David, you're so stupid. We won't get the divorce certificate. Will you please wake up? Don't want to receive it anymore? Why? Why? I questioned myself in my heart, but I didn't have the energy to ask it out loud. So I remained silent. Kelly's tears fell on the back of my hand. I haven't been able to sleep for a single moment these past few days. I've been thinking about you all the time, wondering if you're in pain, wondering if you're sad. I was so stupid. I left you alone and insisted on fulfilling my youthful dream. In reality, it was just an insignificant dream. Kelly's tears grew thicker. The regret I felt at 22 has haunted me my entire life. I felt I had to fulfill my dreams. But once they came true, I realized the people around me were the most worthwhile dreams. I couldn't respond, I was too tired. I don't want to listen to her chattering about her dreams anymore. Annoying. The door was pushed open again. I don't know who came in. I heard a deep male voice. Kelly, you've been here all day, sleepless, your body can't take it. I'll find 3 nurses to take turns looking after him. Come with me. No. Kelly's voice was firm and stubborn. The man was silent for a moment, then said bitterly, I want to ask you, do you still love me? Why did you ignore me after returning from your honeymoon? Kelly was silent. The man sighed, actually, I've noticed that you and I are no longer the lovers we were 10 years ago. From the moment we met again, your mind couldn't focus on me. But you are deliberately trying to get close to me, trying to regain the love we lost. You are deceiving yourself, trying to convince yourself that you still love me. The man took 2 steps closer and seemed to be looking me over. But you don't love me anymore, maybe it's because of him. Did I lose to this bitch after all? Shut up. Kelly gritted her teeth, not allowing Gavin to call me a bitch. Gavin was speechless. Kelly held my hand tightly again and said hoarsely to Gavin, go away. I really don't love you anymore. I'm trapped by the regrets of being 22 years old and can't see the man I was in the past 10 years. He was about to die, and I realized that my biggest regret wasn't you, it was him. The man stood in silence for a while after hearing this, and finally left dejectedly. Kelly leaned over and kissed me. David, I love you. Forehead. What should I say? It would be better for me to die. I'm in so much pain. He tilted his head and fainted again. When the sun rose, I woke up again. I have to say, I have a very tough life. Brittany was sitting next to me and was relieved to see me awake. David, I'm glad you're awake. Do you want something to eat? I have a rare appetite today, maybe because I'm in a good mood. I nodded. Brittany brought me the porridge she had prepared long ago. As a dying person, I don't care whether I can eat porridge or not. I will eat it anyway. I swallowed hard, and after a few mouthfuls, Brittany smiled and said, this is what Boss Kelly made. She doesn't know how to cook at all. She cooked it for hours, and her hands are all burned. It's so pitiful. Vomit. I spit it all out. It turned out to be made by Kelly. No wonder it was so mushy and sticky. I was thinking it was made by Brittany, so I insisted on swallowing it to avoid hurting her feelings. David, why are you vomiting? The door was pushed open and Kelly, who had been hiding for who knows how long, walked in. Her eyes were red and she hadn't slept for several days. It tasted bad, so I vomited. I turned over and lay down. I was already feeling uncomfortable, and having to drink such disgusting porridge made me feel even worse. I had to lie on my side to relieve the discomfort. David, do you hate me so much? Kelly walked over and Brittany gave up her seat. I have indigestion and have to lie like this. I turned my back to her, feeling more and more uncomfortable. Kelly sniffed and tried to grab my hand. I quickly pulled away. Don't touch me, my skin is on fire, it hurts so much when you touch me. These were all true, but Kelly became even more sad. I know I've let you down. I've been living in the regrets of the past. In fact, I've fallen in love with you a long time ago. I'm so stupid. Kelly burst into tears. It gave me a splitting headache. Can you please stop nagging me? I'm almost dying. Listening to you nagging is worse than death. I begged. Sister, please forgive me. Kelly covered her mouth, tears streaming down her face. Kelly's mess almost got me fired. It took me several days to recover. Look at the weather, it's really nice. I pinched my fingers hard, and the veins on the skinny back of my hand immediately tightened. I could feel a long-lost bit of strength. Perhaps, today is my true last day of glory? Don't miss that. Brittany, Brittany. I yelled. Brittany didn't show up, but Kelly did. She clutched my suicide note notebook and looked at me with a look of deep sorrow on her face. David, are you awake? How are you feeling today? I frowned and stared at my book. what are you doing with my book? I helped you improve your will and made some changes. For example, you said you wanted to donate your organs, but I don't think that's necessary. I hope you can keep it complete. Kelly's eyes were red again. My last words distressed her. I was furious. Are you sick? What does my organ donation have to do with you? I was useless when I was alive, so why can't I still be of some use after I die? No, I just want you to be whole. Kelly waved her hands repeatedly, looking panicked, like a child who had done something wrong. She had never had such an expression in the past 10 years. Now, I am about to die, and her expression has become richer. But I feel irritated. Give it to me. I stretched out my dry hand. Kelly handed me the will. I grabbed the pen and started to revise the parts she had changed. I have nothing to do with you anymore. Why do you change my last words? Kelly watched silently, tears wetting her collar, her face full of regret and sadness. Fortunately, Brittany came in, otherwise Kelly would have cried for who knows how long. Boss Kelly, what's wrong? Brittany was a little surprised. I rubbed my wrists and said hopefully, Brittany, I finally have strength today. That's probably a last gasp of energy, a real last gasp of energy. Hurry up and get the car ready. Take Kelly and me to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get our divorce certificate. This is the only thing left for me to do. If I don't do this, I will never be at peace even when I die, because there is a thorn in my heart. Brittany let out a cry and quickly looked at Kelly. Kelly burst into tears on the spot. Hubby, please don't do this. Let's not get a divorce, okay? We won't get a divorce certificate, please. She cried like a tearful person and sat down on the ground helplessly. Where was the aura of a female CEO? But I shook my head. I have to accept it. This is a thorn in my heart. If I accept it, I will die happy. I was bundled up in my thick coat and 3 winter hats, huddled in my wheelchair. Brittany went around the Civil Affairs Bureau and helped me with the paperwork. In fact, the procedure is very simple. After all, it is just a divorce. Kelly stood next to me, her eyes getting redder and redder, and she was already swollen from crying. While waiting for me to sign, she begged again, Hubby, can you please not leave me? I have loved you for 10 years and have always loved you very much, really. Without you, I don't even have the courage to live. She started crying again, attracting the attention of passers-by, who didn't understand why this beautiful woman came to a place where people were getting divorced and cried. David, Gavin has gone back to the United States in disgrace. Boss Kelly really doesn't love him anymore. She loves you. Brittany grabbed my pen and stopped me from signing. I have a splitting headache. Could you please stop talking? It really hurts me. My life is about to wither, but you are still talking about love. Can't you live without love? I just want to pull out the thorn in my heart. Is it so difficult to die comfortably? Kelly, I'm officially telling you this. I've loved you for 10 years, but now, I really don't love you anymore. Please let me go. I turned to look at Kelly, staring at her with emotionless, numb eyes. I am like a dead tree in the bitter winter, just wanting to die because I can't stand this bone-chilling cold anymore. Kelly shuddered, shaken by my gaze. She almost collapsed, her lips trembling, muttering to herself, You really don't love me anymore? I nodded vigorously. She stepped back and nearly fell. Brittany quickly supported her. I took the opportunity to sign my name. I, David, am officially divorced from Kelly. Kelly rushed over staggeringly, calling out husband loudly. I tried my best to look up at her and called her, Kelly. Honey, tell me. Kelly hugged me tightly, trembling constantly. You remember. I reminded her. Remember what? I remember everything. I can't forget you. Kelly hugged me tighter and tighter. Remember, sign and get the certificate. I no longer have the strength. Kelly completely broke down and burst into tears. I closed my eyes, the pen slipped from my hand, and my whole body relaxed. At this moment, I finally pulled out the thorn in my heart and could finally die with peace of mind. My head tilted, my hands dropped, and I could no longer see or hear anything. But, I had a smile on my face. Dad, Mom, Sister, I'm here to see you. Kelly Extra. When David died, I buried him next to his parents and sister. I didn't shed a single tear on the day of the burial. It probably had already dried up before. Sometimes I hate God. Why does he treat me like this? Why did you leave me with regrets when I was 22? Why did you let me make up for the regrets when I was 32, but ended up leaving me with even greater regrets? But in the final analysis, I can't blame God, I can only blame myself. During those 10 years, I had many opportunities to tell David that I loved him. How could I not love him? When we first met, I was drunk and woke up in a hotel in the middle of the night. I thought I had lost my virginity, but I saw David sitting on the edge of the bed, snoring and swaying. He is such an honest man. Many women don't like honest men, but I do. So I married this honest man. This honest man is talented and knows a lot about business, but he is content to be a house husband. Because I like the food he cooks. If he hadn't married me, he would have been a big shot in the business world. Every time I see this great man cook a meal, I want to tell him that it's delicious and I like it very much. I like his thoughtfulness every time. But I never said it out loud, because I stubbornly believed that I liked another man. I was so caught up in David's gentleness and beauty that I overlooked his gentleness and beauty. I foolishly went to fulfill my childhood dream. I must make up for that regret. However, on my honeymoon with Gavin, I only felt awkwardness and rejection. I am no longer the young girl in love, and he is no longer the white moonlight I imagined. The honeymoon went on with difficulty and every day was a torment. But I still stubbornly believe that with time, we can still return to the past. Until I went to the hospital and saw David, who was so emaciated. It only took a moment for me to break down. All the regrets of childhood and the dreams of youth have been thrown into the sky. All I see is this dying David. I finally realized that I loved him and I couldn't live without him. But within a few days, he died and was buried in the dead earth. I looked at his tombstone, slowly sat down, and put my face against his cold name, motionless. It suddenly started snowing. Midwinter has arrived. The bone-chilling wind blew in through my sleeves, and I was shivering all over, but my heart was already numb. David, is this how you wait for me to come back, numbly? You must be cold too, right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It snowed heavily for a whole day and night, and the cemetery was covered with thick snow. In front of David's tombstone, a pile of snow like a mound of earth rose up, as if a person was lying on the tombstone. Sleep here forever.